I'm going to be honest, I didn't think we would have a whole lot to talk about coming out of this game, but I was sorely mistaken. Really quickly, I just wanted to say I did reach 1,500 subscribers on YouTube. Very grateful for that. It's been a lot of fun so far, even though I haven't made a single penny. Don't really care. Hopefully, I get to that point. It really does impact me how long you guys are watching my videos and how many subscribers I have. Helps me find new viewers, attract more views. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. You are the best. Now, onto the game. There are three major takeaways for me. Number one, I would rather fight a pack of ravenous wolves than ever see Brian Hoyer take a snap for any football team ever again. He was god-awful. The Patriots waited way too long to pull the plug on him. I had wished that they had started with Stidham from the beginning anyways. But after seeing how it played out, it was definitely the wrong move to go with Hoyer. That guy stinks. He missed a good amount of throws. He had a really terrible overthrow that was an interception. Before halftime, he forgot how many timeouts he had, I guess. That's situational, fundamental football. And he completely fucked that up. At the end of the half, they came away with no points. That was a huge blow. And then in the third quarter, he ruined another nice drive by fumbling in the red zone again, and it was just a headache to watch.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
I'm not a huge hypothetical guy. I don't like playing, oh, well, what if, or if this person did that, or whatever. But I feel pretty confident when I say that if Cam Newton was playing this game, the Patriots would have won this game. The offense was just so terrible. But I'll get more into that. I'll get more into Stidham in a little bit. Let's move on to number two. The defense can slow down anybody. The Chiefs are far and away the best offense in the NFL. They are the best offense that the NFL has seen quite some time. And the fact that they were able to neutralize them, given the circumstances too. I mean, practice was all out of whack this week. They traveled to Kansas City the day of the game. So that's, again, it fucks up your routine. And then they were on the field for very long stretches of the game because the offense couldn't sustain a drive. They'd have a bad series, whatever, and then they'd be forced to come back out onto the field on short rest. And the fact that they were able to hold that offense for so much of this game, it was really impressive. It surprised the shit out of me, and it's very encouraging going forward. And I tweeted this out last night. If the Seahawks game was a moral victory for the offense, so to speak, then last night was a moral victory for the defense. However, in the NFL season, you got 16 games. 2 moral victories is pushing it. You don't get any more. This is the very, very max of moral victories you can get. No more. You had 1 for the offense, 1 for the defense. You got to start winning, from here on out. Because if you start stacking up all these more victories, well, what does that really get you? A couple of the things they were doing, they were being really physical with Travis Kelce on the line of scrimmage. He's an amazing tight end, but to be honest, I think his only weakness is he's a little soft. And I think if you do get physical with him, you can disrupt his game. And I think we saw that last night. I also think that a lot of the time they were dropping 8 into coverage and only rushing 3. And good strategy by Belichick here because he knows that Pat Mahomes is completely unfazed by any kind of pressure you throw at him. So he says, screw the rush. I'm going to rush 3, drop 8, and I'm going to try and make him run around and make plays the entire night. Now, he's capable of doing that. He's capable of pulling stuff out of his ass. But Bill challenged him to do that for the entire game and to also be really precise with his drives. They were very limited big plays, which is what they love to do, the Chiefs. They pretty much perfected their game plan. If you hold the best offense in the league to 19 points, I'm taking away the Edelman pick 6. You should win that game. And again, the offense was just so bad with Hoyer in the game. I'd really like to think that if Cam was healthy and was in this game, they come out with a W. But it is what it is. You can't know for sure, and we got to move on. Number 3 on my list of takeaways is Damien Harris can freaking play. People have been raving about this guy since training camp. They said he looked awesome. He got hurt. I was bummed. He finally made his debut last night. And I think it's worth noting that coming off of IR, he hasn't played a snap the entire season. And he immediately gets the most carries out of any Patriots running back. He had 17 on the night. They made it a point of emphasis to get him the ball early and often. And he ended up with a 17 carry, 100-yard game. Really impressive. I like the burst. He has a kick in his step. I want to see him get more playing time. That long run was really impressive. He turned the corner. He showed some awesome speed. So give me more Damien Harris, man. You know, that paired with the offensive line that had some injuries, guys were shifting around. They are really good at making it work on that line. It's really impressive, and if they continue to do that, they're going to be pretty formidable running the ball for the rest of the year. I'm going to remember this game as the land of missed opportunities. There was a lot that just went completely wrong in this game. Let's start with the refs, because this is an easy one to talk about. They were pretty bad the whole night. There were some pretty whack calls on both sides, but namely the one that everyone is going to talk about, as they should, is the fumble / interception, I don't really know what you want to call it, that the Patriots came away with, and then the Chiefs were just allowed to not only retain possession, but then punt the ball away. So yeah, the refs did their best impression of Bird Box during that play. I don't think I've ever been more confused watching a sequence.
What the fuck happened? What happened?
Because I was like, oh, fumble, great. And then I was like, I don't get why refs are allowed to blow live plays dead. I don't get why you don't just let a play develop and then you can replay it. And if you were wrong, you can say, okay, no touchdown, we bring the ball back to this spot on the field, and you just go from there. If you blow the play dead before it can happen, and you were wrong about that, then you're screwing the other team over and you're fucking them in the ass. Not only did that happen to the Patriots, they weren't even granted the turnover. Like, he was not down. We came away with the ball. It was blown dead for, I don't know why. I had so many questions with that play. I don't know why you blow the whistle. I don't know why Bill didn't challenge it. I don't know if he got an explanation as to what happened, and maybe that's why he didn't challenge it. I don't know why they were allowed to immediately punt without any kind of review. I don't know why they didn't get together and talk about what happened. It left me with a lot of questions that I don't think there's any good answers to. But speaking of mishaps, I was like, okay, they put a nice drive together. And I was like, well, if they come away from 7, at least it's not a huge deal. If you score a touchdown anyways, it's like, okay, it's still a shitty call and one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in a football game. But at least you still scored a touchdown on that possession. Well, you have a really nice drive, you get in the red zone, and then you get sacked to end the half, and you get nothing. And I was like, wow, that is one major kick to the nutsack. As great of a game as the defense had, they could have actually been a little bit better. And what I mean by that is, I said that they're going to have to be really opportunistic if they're going to win some of these games. And, forcing turnovers, big sacks, timely sacks, stuff like that. They dropped 2 perfectly catchable interceptions last night. And coming from Pat Mahomes, who has 0 interceptions on the year, that would have been huge. During those drives where they dropped the picks, they scored 10 points. So if you take that away, that's an even better game for the defense. Yeah, so I'm not saying that they would have won the game if they had made those plays. Would have helped. Who knows what would have happened. But going forward, I would like to catch the catchable balls that are thrown to you by the quarterback. That goes for the defense and the offense. I'm looking at you, Mr. Jules.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Jules, I love you. I really do. But if there is a pass that is thrown at your hands, I would rather you not treat it like a hot potato. That's just my opinion. I'm sure many others feel the same way. And I really hope people aren't going to blame Stidham for that one, because that's so just obviously not Stidham's fault. And if you're saying it is, then you're just a hater. Plain and simple. So let's talk about Stidham. He came in the game 3 quarters too late, but he did come in. He didn't look great, but he looked better than Hoyer did. You look at his stats, and it's something like 5 for 13, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and you go, oh, that's terrible. But you watch him play, and the big mistake was the underthrow to Bird. He made the right read, but it was an underthrow. He missed a touchdown. That was the glaring error to me. The second pick on Jules, but he was making some plays. There was the nice lob to N'Keal Harry in the end zone, which, side note, I've been waiting for them to just do that play in the red zone more often. N'Keal Harry is massive, and I said a couple weeks ago, if you give him a catchable ball, you place it in the right spot, he will win those contested battles. He did that last night. I want to see more of that going forward. Circling it back to Stidham, that was a really nice placed ball. Good play there. He was the only one that converted in the red zone, so that alone sets him apart from Hoyer. And then there were a couple of plays where the play was kind of broken. Nobody was open. Stidham extended the play. I can think of 2 off the top of my head. He extended the play with his legs, and he ended up hitting Bird, I think it was, both plays, for a really nice gain. And I was like, there is some playmaking ability here. And you just don't have that with Hoyer. So for next week, I think if Cam is asymptomatic for 5 days, which would be Thursday, I'm pretty sure that he can come back. Now, is that enough time to get him ready for Denver? I don't see why not. But for some reason, if Cam isn't ready to go next week, it better fucking be Stidham starting. I would much rather go with the young guy who has playmaking ability than go with the veteran journeyman backup suckbag who sucks. Stidham's going to make mistakes like we saw with the Bird throw. But I would much rather roll with the punches there than ever see Brian Hoyer take a snap with this football team ever again. Stidham made a couple nice plays. He had a couple drops from Edelman. There was a drop from Izzo. He had a couple throwaways. So the completion percentage isn't as bad as it looks. He has a lot of work to do, but he did show me something. But yeah, hopefully it's Cam next week. Hopefully we don't have to go through that again. But if it's not for some reason, it has to be Stidham in my eyes. And keep in mind, Stidham was just kind of thrown in there. If they do have to go with him next week, I think if he has an entire week with QB1 reps, practice and preparation, I think the results are going to be a lot better. Overall, just a really bad taste in my mouth that this was a winnable game if we had a starting quarterback. It's unfortunate things played out the way they did. But at the end of the day, the Patriots are right where I thought they would be. I thought through the first 4 games they would be 2-2, and they are. They still have a chance to make the playoffs. We got to focus on that. It's on to Denver. Got to put this one behind us. No more moral victories. We are done with that. After seeing that game, made me really appreciate Cam all the more. I'm excited for him to return, and I hope it's next week. I tweeted this out too. I told myself that I wasn't going to get super angry at the game, given the crazy circumstances. I was just like, it's just not worth getting mad at. But as I was watching it, I couldn't help but be like, what the fuck, man? There was just so much that went wrong, so many missed opportunities, and the fact that we were in it with a backup QB, it made it very, very frustrating that Cam wasn't able to play. And I'm not blaming him either. I mean, shit happens. But, it was just really unfortunate the way everything played out. But like I said, not much you can do, and it's on to Denver. What did you guys think of the game? Comment below, let me know. As always, like and subscribe, and yeah.